Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I'm coming to you from my bathroom. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was my shower cap. Yes, I use those. People make fun of me. But I only wash my hair like once a week. The last time I came to you was March 16th. I was week 98 then, post VSG week 14 pregnancy, and I weighed in at 185 pounds that week. This is week 101 post VSG, so that's super exciting. And it is also my 17th week of pregnancy. I'm like right in the middle of it, going into week 17 of pregnancy. It'll be 18 on Saturday. Well, let me back up. So week 99 of post-op VSG, 15 weeks pregnancy, I weighed in at 180 pounds. Week 100, post-op VSG, 16 of pregnancy, I was 178. And this week, I am 176. So, I can continue to drop. I have made this video actually a couple times, just over the last 2 weeks. I was out of town for work, and then I made it while I was gone, and I didn't post that. And then I was kind of putting you guys off because I knew I was going back to the doctor, and then we were trying to find out what the gender of the baby was, and so I was just trying to wait to kind of reveal everything all at one time. So yeah, we're week 101 post-op VSG and week 17 pregnancy, and I'm weighing 176 pounds. How do I feel about that? Odd. I was not expecting to lose weight. There's no reason for it. I have to be completely honest. I'm pretty much eating whatever I want to. I'm making good choices for the most part. But now I have really been including the whole grains. I really try to include them in the morning time. If I don't have it in morning, then I make sure that I have it sometime during the day, at lunch mostly. But if I see something and I want it, then I eat a little bit of it. I've really been eating the fruits and vegetables also. Now that I'm out of the first trimester, I don't eat a lot, but I have gone back to eating tuna, not daily, but I eat tuna, and like last night I had scallops. Yesterday for breakfast I had what is that stuff called? Salmon. And all those things are healthy in pregnancy. You just have to be careful not to have too much. In the first trimester, I was really freaking out about all of that. So I was keeping up with it. I'd only have fish on Mondays and blah, 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 blah. And I've kind of skipped past that now, and I'm just focusing on trying to focus on lean meats and whole grains and fruits and vegetables. And I have added some extras in there, sugar-free puddings. I made some like homemade dessert that had sugar-free pudding in it, really yummy. I eat that probably once a day. I didn't eat any yesterday, but we bought these little things at Sam's called OMGs. Don't get those because they are the most delicious things in the whole world. I've eaten those a couple times. Over the weekend I was gone on a trip. I even had some ice cream then. So yeah, I'm just trying to be careful, but also in moderation. I wonder if my weight loss is not muscle loss. My working out has not really been that great. I have continued to walk. I run very, 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 very little. But I have been walking, and I've been really busy. And I'm just still so exhausted. So my summer energy has come back. I'm staying up later at night than I was previously. But I am just exhausted. And it's exhausting being so exhausted. And I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. I'm sure that if you guys have had babies, then you understand. But it is ridiculous how tired I am. Yesterday, I just could not wait to get off work because I just had to lay down. I mean, I just was so tired. I was in the car all day yesterday. I mean, I travel for work anyways, but I traveled really far yesterday, so it just seemed worse. Yes, I'm in my pajama top. It just seemed worse yesterday, and I don't have a rhyme or reason for that. It just seemed worse. So, yeah, also my water, the last time I came to you, I was saying that my water was terrible, and it actually got a lot better, and I was doing really, really good, really pumping in the fluids. Then last week, I started having some, like slight edema, which I'm a water retainer, I always have been, just around my ankles and stuff. In my, in the lower extremities. And so it really, really, really tore me up. And I didn't call the doctor or anything because, stuff I was reading was saying that it is normal to have some and blah, blah, blah. And I kept thinking, I expected to swell, but just not this early. And it wasn't anything major or massive. And probably nobody would even have noticed it but me. But I'm just so sensitive to that because that was a problem I had pre-VSG. And so, even post-VSG, I have had some issues with swelling. So, I really have to be careful. I'm trying to hide my potty. I really have to be careful. I don't really watch my salt, but I probably should. Things like that. So, anyways, but for the most part, because I drink so much water, it's not been an issue. Well, last week, I was really pumping in the fluids, and I was noticing that I was really swelling. And it's really funny because everything I read says that the more fluids you pump, the less that should be. But over the weekend when I traveled, anytime I go out of town or travel, my water automatically goes down. Purposefully, because I hate having to be that person that has to stop and potty every 5 minutes. Because when I'm drinking like I'm supposed to, and let me tell you, having a traveling job sucks big time. Because, especially, and with the pregnancy and the hormones and your bladder, and it's crazy anyways, but I already use the potty a lot, but I can literally go to the bathroom, get up, pull my pants up, walk to the next room and be like, I gotta pee again. And it's actual pee. It's not like I have an infection. It's because I'm drinking so much water. So when I travel, I really reduce that because I hate being that person that has to stop and pee every 5 minutes. I get it in, but just not as much as I normally would. And so over the weekend, my water was not great. And so I have kind of continued that through the week. Randomly, I have not been swelling. Now, it's not been as hot. Last week we had a little warm spell. It still wasn't hot, but we got up to like the 70s. So I don't know, but it really bothers me for the summer because I'm wondering if it's going to be, because it's going to be so hot this summer, I just know it, and I'm going to be swelling like a balloon. So I don't know, maybe that's why my weight is down again. When I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, things looked good. The baby's heart rate was good. My blood pressure was up a little bit. She wasn't concerned about it. I told her I was going to have my dad check it. He had actually checked it like the Friday before when I went on a Monday to the doctor, and it was normal. My blood pressure's always kind of gone up when I go to the doctor, but it's been better pretty much, since. So that really bothered me. And on top of that, with the fluid retention, and I've been having a headache. But everything's fine. So little things like that I'm just paranoid about. And, I know that if I were to have those issues, here's where I come from. I have such a much more healthy lifestyle now. I can just have convinced myself that, this was going to be a good and healthy pregnancy. And so far it is. But I really have to get out of the mindset that sometimes it's nothing that you do. Your body just does not handle pregnancy well, or there's other issues that you cannot foresee, that it's not your fault. So I'm really trying to talk to myself about that. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm still swelling, can't help that. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing but my blood pressure happens to be up, some of those things are beyond my control. It's not diet or exercise or water. It's pregnancy. And so I'm struggling with that mindset. I went through my whole life with being extremely morbidly obese and now being in this position of, being a healthier weight and size, I don't know. It's just different, because you could always blame anything on obesity. Always. Now, it may really piss me off. You talk about getting me pissed off quick. You talk about my back hurting because I was fat. Really pissed me off. I mean, I knew my body for a very long time. I had always been large, which I realize in saying that I'm not really making a good case out of anything. But I know my body, and my back just doesn't hurt because I'm big. My back was hurting because there was an issue. I had a doctor tell me one time, well, I won't get into that because I'll just get hot. But anyways, guess what? Turns out, I had a urinary tract infection. He didn't believe me. Little things like that always really piss me off. Yeah, I'm big. I know I'm big, but I've never had this back pain before, and I know my body, so let's move on. Let's think of some other options besides obesity. So I know I'm all over the place. So being in this position I am now, where technically I'm still considered overweight, but at 176 pounds, that's, I don't know. I just struggle with, it's not my fault this time, I guess. So yeah, busy weekend, traveled all weekend. I had a hard talk with my best friend in the car over the weekend because she stopped and told me, I need to tell you something, and it's going to hurt your feelings, and I don't want you to cry, but you're probably going to cry. And I said, okay. And she was so sincere, and I was already getting upset before we started the conversation. And I had met some new people, and I was introducing myself, and she was talking about me being pregnant, and I was telling them, blah, 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 blah. And so they were talking about, they're like, oh, well, it's your first baby. You probably won't really be showing yet. And I was like, well, I'm just starting to get where my pants are tight, and, I've kind of flipped over to maternity clothes. I'm getting a little uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. And nobody would look at me and be like, oh, she's pregnant. But I can tell I'm pregnant. Anyways, they were like, it's your first baby, blah, blah, blah. The comment that I made was, yes, and I'm a bigger girl, and I know sometimes it's often hard to tell on bigger women when they are pregnant. Now, in saying this, I said this to two other women. Two of the women were very small, and the other lady was larger than I was, not really thinking anything about it. And then, of course, my best friend was standing there. So we get in the car, and we start this conversation, and she says to me, she grabs my arm, actually, which we're not really touchy people. I am. She's not. And she says, I need you to stop. I'm going to cry. Referring to yourself as a bigger girl. She said, do you even know how stupid you sound when you say that? And I said, but I am. I mean, I'm still a bigger girl. I know I'm not where I was. And, you see that. People that know me see that. Or knew me. They see that I'm not what I used to be, and that I'm, a lot smaller, and in their eyes I'm so skinny. People are like, you need to eat something, you're getting too small. I'm not. I'm 176 pounds, 180 pounds. That's where my body likes to stay. That's not small. To comparison to where I used to be, tiny. Tiny, I get that. But it really upset me, and she says, no, Sarah. She said, nobody looks at you that way. And I said, you don't look at me that way. She said, no. She said, if you could have seen the looks on their faces. She said, did you pay attention? And I said, well, no, I was talking. And she said, they were both just looking at each other like, okay. And she said, nobody's going to argue with the pregnant lady. And she said, but you are not the big girl. You're not a big girl. And I'm really struggling with that because, BMI says 176 is still considered overweight. I took that picture over the weekend, posted on Instagram and Facebook, and I just couldn't believe that was me. And 17 weeks pregnant, and I look that small. And I'm looking at this thinking I look huge. Of course, I'm in my big nightshirt, and my boobs are ginormous, which is odd because they've gotten so small. And I didn't actually cry when she told me that because I didn't know what she was going to say. I started to. It was just so funny. But it's just a weird place to be in because I don't feel small. And really don't feel small now. I know it's just my belly mostly, but gosh, I just didn't know I was going to struggle with pregnancy the way I have. Of course, I know a lot of it's hormones. Who knew? Oh, I'm at 15 minutes. All right, bye.